Yo, what is up everybody, and welcome back to another Madden 20 online CFM game. We have just pulled off a major trade with our Miami Dolphins to bring in Terron Armstead as our new starting left tackle. One of the premier offensive linemen, one of the superstars of the NFL in the 2021 season here in the Premier Madden League, is not only a new member of our team, he is going to be re-signed for the next 3 seasons. Terron Armstead is traded from the New Orleans Saints to the Miami Dolphins, and he gets a brand new big money deal. We definitely need offensive line help with our Miami Dolphins, and we were willing to put our first round pick next season on the line to try to get Terron Armstead from the New Orleans Saints, who knew that they could not sign Terron Armstead in the offseason due to their salary cap kind of dwindling down. So Terron Armstead was quietly on the market. We put a big offer out for Armstead. Marcus Gilbert, our former starting right tackle, he is gone. Also, like I said, our first round pick. But the way we are playing this season with our Miami Dolphins, that first round pick is projected to be at the lower end of the first round. We are currently 5-0. We are still trying to improve our team, and we are at least one more time going to try to re-sign Ricardo Allen. This is our third and final negotiation attempt. If it does not work here, Ricardo Allen becomes a free agent, barring the franchise tag. We don't have to worry about that. Ricardo Allen is re-signed. He is overpaid, but Ricardo Allen is re-signed to our Miami Dolphins. Yes, we could have let Ricardo Allen walk. We could have potentially even traded him, but I like what Ricardo Allen brings to the table for our team. I like his superstar abilities, mainly lurker. So I'd rather, overpay a little bit to retain that, and I'll just put that on myself as a mistake in the negotiation stages in the first 2 rounds of negotiating with Ricardo Allen. We should have been able to find the middle ground a little bit better, so it'll cost us a couple million in cap space, but honestly, as you guys saw, we are projected to have a little under $90 million in cap space next season, so overpaying for one guy is not going to be too big of a deal, because otherwise, most of the deals we have under our Miami Dolphins for this season and even next season and beyond are pretty fair contracts. So, if you're trying to build a team, sometimes you gotta shell out, a little bit too much money for 1 or 2 guys. It just happens that way. So, now let's get into the scouting report of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have Tua Tagovailoa. I hope I got that name right, man. Tagovailoa. I know it's like Tagovailoa. We're going to try to call him Tua as much as I can for this video, just to limit potentially getting that name right or wrong. So you guys see the Jacksonville Jaguars. Otherwise, they got Leonard Fournette. They have Jalen Ramsey. They actually have Chris Godwin on this team. The Jacksonville Jaguars wheeling and dealing a little bit as we check out Terron Armstead's abilities before we hop into the game. He's got Secure Protector and Polar Elite. That Secure Protector is definitely going to be big to try to limit pass rushers on the outside, getting a quick pass rush. We know Terron Armstead is going to hold up his end. Hopefully, Austin Blythe, who now moves from left tackle to right tackle for us, can hold up on his end of the bargain, as well as the interior offensive lineman. As we get the scouting report on the 2-3 Jacksonville Jaguars, we are in Miami yet again. We have a very home-heavy schedule to start off this season, and here we go. We are underway between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins. Can the Dolphins continue the undefeated season and go to 6-0, or can the Jacksonville Jaguars get to a 500 record with what would be their biggest win of the season? Tua with a decent start, getting a decent gain. Next play, middle, he's got his man for the first down, and the Jaguars offense is humming early on. You gotta expect Leonard Fournette, who is a superstar in this CFM, to get a lot of carries, and so far, yeah, here's Fournette with back-to-back handoffs. 3rd down and 3, wide, change it up. Fournette again, he finds a crease, he's got the first down, and Leonard Fournette is going to fall forward, get yards after contact, and the Jaguars trying to set up the play action game off of all of the attention on Fournette. It backfires. Their own superstar left tackle Andrew Norwell actually gets called for a penalty, illegal man downfield, so that's going to cost them 5 yards as Fournette goes nowhere there. 2nd down and 16, Tua standing poised, but he throws the interception. That is Jason Barret with the snag and an early turnover for the Dolphins defense, but the Dolphins offense gives the ball right back, trying to find Deandre Hopkins was Khalil Tate. That ball floated in the air just a second too long, and J.R. Reed gets the interception as Tua is down. Malik Harrison off that right side. What a start to the season Malik Harrison has had, as Fournette not able to get too far on that screen pass. It's third down and long for Tua in the offense. Oh, the Dolphins are only rushing 3. That should give Tua some time, but not enough to truly let the play develop. It's just going to be an incompletion, and the Jacksonville Jaguars punt the ball, trying to pin the Dolphins deep in their own territory. Mission accomplished. Now here's our second offensive play of the game. The first one was intercepted, intended for DeAndre Hopkins, where I probably should have just bulleted it out one instead of lobbing it. That time we do get the completion to DeAndre. This time it's Colin Johnson, a man who has been lost in the offense so far this season with the acquisition of DeAndre Hopkins. Third down, that's Lynn J. Dixon with the catch. Dixon going to get the first down as we throw the bubble to Jakeem Grant. I wouldn't say Jakeem Grant is a man who's gotten lost in the offense. He's definitely getting his touches, but for whatever reason, Jakeem Grant is just not busting off those explosive plays the way he has done in the first 2 seasons for our Dolphins, as that looks to be defensive pass interference drawn by Colin Johnson. Yes, it was. And you guys will notice that it looks like Jalen Ramsey is trying to match up with DeAndre Hopkins for the majority of this game. So we'll keep an eye on that matchup. 99 cornerback versus 99 overall wide receiver. Who wins that battle? Second down after the Boston Scott handoff goes nowhere. Here's Khalil Tate taking off, and Tate nearly getting the first down. Tate using his mobility. That's been a rare sight so far for the Dolphins. Middle, it's Colin Johnson getting the first down. The Dolphins spreading this ball around beautifully until on first down and goal, Lynn J. Dixon going the wrong way early second quarter. It's a shovel option that time to Lynn J. That's not going to get really anywhere. And now it's third down and goal at the 16-yard line, and this is all about damage control. Give it to Lynn J. See what he can do, but otherwise, we'll take our field goal, make sure we do not turn the ball over, grab our points, grab our 3-point lead, which, I'm not too sure how we feel about. But the way this game is going right now, I feel like our defense is playing pretty solid, and it's only going to be a matter of time before hopefully we can figure something out on the offensive end. That is the hope. In the meantime, our defense does need to continue their solid play, as this is going to be play action. It's not going to Leonard Fournette. Oh, instead, Tua's able to sling it in the middle. Caden Stearns had a beat on that ball. Well, I believe I accidentally hit stick instead of going for the interception. That ended up costing us, as you see. Back-to-back negative plays forced by Malik Harrison, who is all over the field. Third down and long once again for the Jaguars offense, and that's going to be intercepted by the new big money man on the defensive end, Ricardo Allen. As long as he can play that center fielder for our Dolphins defense, fine by me. I'm cool with paying the money for Ricardo Allen, even though he's a bit undersized. He brings decent hit power, but he can really make plays on the football, and that's what we want. DeAndre Hopkins can definitely make plays on the ball. Hopkins in the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Of course, in our previous game, DeAndre Hopkins exploded for over 250 yards. By far the best game we have had with DeAndre. It seems like the Dolphins and Khalil Tate have finally figured out how to mesh with DeAndre Hopkins. I said at the end of the last video that our next objective was to get the rest of our weapons involved. Maybe, get Jakeem Grant on a jet sweep or 2 more in the game, get him in motion, find ways to get Colin Johnson involved, and we were able to get Colin Johnson involved in that last drive. Third down and 8 here for Tua. He's got all day. Middle, and he's got his man for the first down. Oh, but once again, he's playing with fire in the area of Caden Stearns. This time it's Leonard Fournette, and Fournette all the way for the Jacksonville touchdown. Caden Stearns, who has been making those plays on the ball throughout this early season for the Miami Dolphins, not able to get a hand on either that big third down play or Leonard Fournette, who got a beautiful spin move off. Of course, Caden Stearns, whether it's forcing fumbles or getting interceptions, he's been doing everything for us, but that's kind of what happens when Stearns doesn't get his way. Oh no, it's a touchdown on the post. If we had just another half second to hold on to that ball. This is a dangerous one. Still in the air. Oh boy, they could not catch up to it. And that's the way we go into the 2-minute warning. Third down and long. Down goes Tate again. Josh Allen, the former first-round pick, now a superstar for the Jaguars on the pass rush, getting the sack. It's a punt, and the Jaguars will get somewhat decent position here to try to at least tie the game with a little over 90 seconds left in the first half. For the Jaguars, this is as well as you can expect the game to play out. Coming into this game as the presumed underdog, you just want to keep the game close, stay within striking distance, and hope the big plays go your way, like the Leonard Fournette one that got them a touchdown on their previous drive. As the clock continues to chew, 3rd down and 7:45 seconds left. Here is Tua, time middle, and that's going to be intercepted. This is not how you pull off the upset. Throwing the ball at Jerome Baker. Baker hasn't exactly had the explosive season so far the way he had last year as a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, but Jerome Baker can still make plays for this squad. We definitely had a player right there if it wasn't for Josh Allen all over us. And once again, now it's Myles Jack forcing the tackle for loss as we try to sneak in the screen pass. Does not work at all. And now it's 3rd down and 17, and here we'll just try not to do anything stupid with Khalil Tate. Maybe just throw it downfield, maybe do something a little bit silly, because at the very worst, if it gets intercepted, it's not really too big of a deal. We're near the end of the first half, and since it's just incomplete, we try to pin the Jaguars deep. Instead, it's just going to be a touchback, and we will most likely go into the first half with a 3-point game. Maybe not. Ball on the ground. Derek Brown. Oh, just 1 yard short, and it stays a fumble recovery for the Miami Dolphins, and it's a touchdown for the Miami Dolphins. Grant on the ground. He's hurt. A lot just happened. Oh, the Dolphins with a 10-point lead. An absolute just travesty for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We just finished talking about how they were playing the formula perfectly for trying to pull off the upset. But trying to make a trick play happen, Jerome Baker did not let it happen. Here's one more trick play before the end of the first half. It's a wildcat, and Leonard Fournette is going nowhere. We got the strip with Jerome Baker, and then it was Derek Brown who got the recovery. And oh man, he was so close, and it looked like him not being able to get into that end zone was going to cost us potentially 4 points, if not 7, but we were able to pull off that jet sweep with Jakeem Grant. Thankfully, Jakeem Grant's not really hurt, so he should be able to come back into this game and help us try to extend this lead. Once again, Deandre Hopkins doing his thing. How about Khalil Tate leaving the pocket, buying time, keeping his eyes downfield, and finding Mike Gesicki. Tate with a fantastic game so far after the interception. That was his first pass attempt. Since then, everything's been going fine and dandy as Lynn J. Dixon cutting his way to the 6-yard line. The Dolphins knocking on the door of another touchdown that would make it a 17-point game. Here is Tate leaving again. Just gets it off, and that's going to be completed to John Brown as we have another man in motion. This time it's Perriman, and Perriman finds the end zone. The same way the Dolphins scored last time, except this time it's Perriman going from right to left on the sweep. And just like that, 17-point games. These are very long games in these CFMs, but just a couple of plays can really change everything. And that's what happened for the end of the first half. That really just changed the entire tempo of this game. Now all of a sudden, the Dolphins are feeling themselves coming out of the halftime locker room, and we're able to piece together a really good drive, and now we're up 17 points, and at this point, it's just, about hanging on and making sure the Jaguars don't get big plays and getting our victory and going to 6-0, right? But of course, easier said than done. We do get the stop right there. The Jaguars trying to set up a screen pass right there did not work out too well. From what I can tell so far, Teron Armstead is doing his job. We have not mentioned his name, and that's a good thing because that means he is not giving up any pressure. All the pressure that came on those previous drives were coming from the middle or the right side as we get that slant off to Deandre Hopkins. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1. 3rd down and short is definitely a down we have to be able to convert, and that we do to DeAndre Hopkins, who does get 2 feet in bounds. And you see Hopkins continuing to be matched by Jalen Ramsey, but Hopkins is finding his ways open in this game as we run the sweep. Now this time it's Boston Scott in motion. Scott with the 1st down and a whole lot more. Finally wrestled down by Myles Jack, and we have Lynn J. Dixon hurt. The rookie Lynn J. Dixon on the ground after he was not even getting the ball on that play. He was just involved in the fake right there. And Dixon, he was holding his leg, maybe his ankle, so that's definitely something we've got to watch and be a bit concerned about. And bam, Lynn J. Dixon dislocated ankle. So that's definitely out for the game and out for a couple of weeks. We're going to have to see the diagnosis after this game is done. As 3rd down and 16, Josh Allen is taking over this game on the defensive end for the Jaguars, single-handedly knocking the Dolphins out of field goal range and ending that drive as we manage to pin the Jaguars at their own 4-yard line with our 17-point lead. That is a perfect punt because time is eventually going to start ticking on the Jaguars if they cannot connect on a big play. If they cannot connect on a big run, all of a sudden it's 3rd down and Tua just gets that ball off. Oh, Caden Stearns balls out and hauls in. Caden Stearns, welcome to the game. It's been a bit quiet for the very loud 7th overall pick out of Texas, but eventually you knew Stearns was going to make a big play. Caden Stearns always makes at least one big play in every game, and there it was. And once again, it's going to be a fumble that completely changes this game as Stearns comes right back. 127 on another. 2 superstars doing their thing. Leonard Fournette running the ball, but at this point, it's a 24-point game in the 4th quarter. This one is almost over unless the Jaguars can get something going, and their tempo is the complete opposite of what it should be as they run the ball. They're actually going to catch us off guard and get the 1st down, but I mean, honestly, not too big of a deal as long as they're chewing clock on themselves. We don't got to do much except sit back and hope the Jaguars beat themselves, which is what they are doing right now as Tua. That's going to be incomplete. So, yeah, 3rd down and 10 here. We can get this stopped. The game is pretty much over. And once again, the Jaguars are aiding us as if they've given up on the game by running the ball with Leonard Fournette. Gain of 4. 4th down and 6. Got to go for it here. Might as well. Down 24. And that should have been caught by Fournette. But Ricardo Allen trying to let everybody know I didn't get overpaid. I got properly paid as we have John Brown down on the ground that hurts. So we really need to get this game over with ASAP because we're starting to lose bodies. John Brown is not too big of a deal, and thankfully he's not because he has broken ribs. That's going to be maybe a month or 2 months worth of injury time that he's out for. But yeah, John Brown's our number 4, maybe number 5 receiver. We don't worry about him too much, but hold on just a second. Oh, that looked like that might have been blocked. Instead, the field goal is up and good by the Miami Dolphins. So yeah, John Brown being injured. Not too happy about that, but Lynch Dixon, that's really going to be a big story coming out of this game because that is our superstar X-Factor running back. You guys saw what he was able to do for us in that Cleveland game, and at least the good news is our backup option is none other than Boston Scott, the guy everybody's been clamoring for in the comment section. Everybody's saying, give Boston Scott more touches. I don't care. This rookie's a superstar X-Factor. I don't care what he is. Let's see more Boston Scott. Well, your wish has been delivered. Not in the way we would have liked it to be delivered, but this is going to open up avenues for Boston Scott and Kalen Ballage to get the majority of the carries while our rookie Lynn J. Dixon is out. We have to see the severity of the injury, but, at least for the next couple of weeks, we do have to, mainly rely on Boston Scott, and we'll see how Kalen Ballage plays into that role as well. As right now, we're just chewing clock right now, really trying to get out of this game and avoid any more injuries. And once again, our Miami Dolphins are winning by any means necessary except for just winning normally. Hold on a second. This is going to be a 65-yard field goal attempt by Joey Sly, and it's good. 65 yards. That's got to be the record, right? As far as I know, in this CFM, no one's hit a 65-yard field goal. Obviously, the record's 64 yards by, I believe, Matt Prater in the actual NFL, so yeah, might be Brandon McManus, but I know someone hit a 64-yarder in the NFL. 65 yards, yeah. Shout out to Joey Sly, who has had an up-and-down season, and he is able to knock down a 65-yarder. Maybe that's going to give Joey Sly some momentum. Why not? So, yeah, like I said, our Dolphins are managing to win by any means necessary except for winning normally. This game was close throughout, but it was really 2 forced fumbles that changed everything. One right before the end of the first half when it was looking to be a 3-point game going into the locker room. And then, as we punted the ball and gave the Jaguars a chance to get back into it, Caden Stearns forces that fumble and Bryce Hall gets the touchdown. It's pretty much 2 defensive touchdowns because the Derrick Brown fumble recovery went to the 1-yard line, set up a fairly easy touchdown for Jakeem Grant as Malik Harrison caps off one heck of a day on that outside. Harrison again! Oh my goodness, can they contain him? His 3rd sack! Rack up the garbage time stats, why don't ya? As that is going to be caught. And the Jaguars calling their timeouts here. They're trying to make something happen before the end of the game. I said it in that Browns game. Whatever the team that is losing by 30 wants to do, they can do. If they're extending the game, so be it. I would rather be the team up by 30 than the team down by 30, trying to decide what to do, right? So we get the victory. We move to 6-0 now. We have our new acquisition, Teron Armstead. everything's flowing right now for the Miami Dolphins, yet it doesn't seem like our offense has ever fully clicked in a game, right? But when you look at the stat line, Khalil Tate 21 for 25. Even though last game Khalil Tate went over 300 yards, I would say that was probably the best game we've had with Khalil Tate yet. You know, throwing the first play of the game aside where we threw the interception, that was, you know, just a pretty solid game for us. So yeah, I seen Lynn Dixon, 4 rushes, 5 yards. We never really got Dixon involved in the game as we were trying to mainly establish the passing game on that one, and Dixon ended up getting hurt instead. So it's a big injury, but it's not a major blow. It's not as if Deandre Hopkins got hurt. Deandre Hopkins, once again, with a solid game, as you guys see. Damn near everybody gave up a sack on our offensive line except for Teron Armstead. So I suppose that is good news as we continue to look along the stat line. Caden Stearns, he didn't have that impact he has had in most of these games so far, but, you know, that one forced fumble on George Fant, who was playing tight end for the Jaguars, definitely was big. As you guys see, that Jerome Baker interception was pretty solid as well. Even the Ricardo Allen one, all with the Jaguars moving the ball. They had momentum on their side. They were, you know, doing well in that first half. It's just that fumble really changed everything. And as long as these games are, you have to value possession and value the turnover differential, and that's something our Dolphins team does pretty well. So before we hop out of today's video, we're going to check out the injury report as all of our receivers get 500 XP to get the news on how bad it is. How bad are these injuries to John Brown and Lynn J. Dixon? Oh, John Brown, 5 weeks. Lynn J. Dixon, 7 weeks. We do have the bye week coming up after next week's game against the New York Jets, so it's really going to be, I believe, 6 games we missed with Lynn J. Dixon, but still, that's going to be a lot. So the running game is definitely going to have a different look for the next couple of videos at least. So like I said, Boston Scott fans, rejoice. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed what you guys saw from our Miami Dolphins. Subscribe for more Madden 20 gameplays, especially if you're trying to keep up with this Dolphins online CFM. And I will catch you guys next time. Thank you, as always, for watching.